Relationships are always mirroring where we're at. I know you've probably heard this before and you're probably like, yeah, I don't see that. I mean, that's actually how I felt like, yeah, I believe that totally, but I don't see it. I'm Lisa, Love and Marriage Guide, and I now am really seeing it. So, you actually cannot. I wrote this down, so I need to read it again. Hold on one second. Um, Relationships work when we don't need anything. So that's an interesting statement too, right? You've probably heard that one before too. And you're like, what the hell does that mean? Like, I don't get it. How could we not need anything in relationship? And yeah, I thought exactly the same thing. But I had this experience where I'm a marriage and family therapist, and I was doing marriage and family therapy. I was seeing clients, and this was last summer. And I had been doing my own healing as I always am, as I always need to as a therapist. Because, often we get triggered. It's less often as you do it more, but it's always layers of things. So I was getting triggered by my clients, and it was triggering my own trauma. And so I was doing my own healing, and then I was becoming more sensitive and more triggered. And I got to this point last summer where I was just like, I can't do this anymore. Like, my stuff was like right here at the surface, all my emotions, like this, I didn't know what it was, but I'm like, I can't do this. And so I talked to my husband. I'm like, I just need to take a vacation. Like, I don't know what's happening. I don't know if I can do this anymore. I don't want to scare you, but let me just take a vacation and then I can probably come back. So I took 3 weeks off. But really it happened in the first week. I just stopped doing, and I couldn't do anything. Luckily, like, my kids were in, like, they had programs that they were going to. I think they were in camp and they had stuff to do. So during the day I had time for myself. And I didn't even know what to do with myself. It was like I couldn't do anything. It was like everything just kind of shut down. And all I could do was like take walks out in nature with my dog. But when I did this, it was like I was connecting to my spirit. Like, I felt the trees. I felt the energy between me and the trees. And it felt like this love coming back and all around me. Like, love was just surrounding me. And it was really like an incredible experience. And I just kept doing it, just walking, like, every day, just walking out in nature with my dog, kind of like meditating out there, just sitting there with my dog. And I just kept feeling this like love. And it was like God was talking to me. And I felt so much love that when I came back after that week, I realized I didn't need anything. I didn't need anything from my husband anymore. I didn't need anything from my children anymore. That I was already getting it. And it just freed me. Like, it was this incredible experience that I just had to have in order to know. So I do believe that that's true, that our relationships are a reflection of where we're at. So, and I've seen this as a couples therapist too. Like, every time, like, one partner will say one thing, well, he does this and she does this. And you guys realize you're saying the same thing, right? And you're doing the same things to each other, right? Like, when you, like, they would get into these cycles, just for an example of, like, when you are hard on yourself, you're hard on your partner. When you're hard on your partner's hard on you. And then you're just creating this cycle, but you're both doing it. And I could see it because I'm the therapist and I'm observing them. And I could really see how we are just reflections of each other. So it is true. We do have to have experiences of knowing. And they're just experiences that if we open ourselves to them, we can have. So it's true that relationships are reflections of where we're at. And it's also true that once you realize that you don't need anything, it all comes to you. after that, like, I didn't have so much pressure in my relationship. There wasn't as much pressure, and I just found my husband like opening and bringing his heart forward and loving me and caring for me. And it was amazing. It was like, I was like, did I not see this before? And maybe part of me didn't see it before, but part of it was new. And it was new because that pressure wasn't there coming from me of like, you need to love me, you need to care for me. So I just wanted to share that with you. That's my experience. And also what I help people do is I help people align with their inner spirit, and so they can have these experiences. And this is kind of new for me. I'm evolving. I think we're all evolving, but I've been finding that like I only need to have one session with people, and they're fine after that, because what happens is I help them to align. It's really like I found this in the Course of Miracles too. Like I didn't really understand it when I saw it in there, but it's like when you do the work and you are just this presence, this loving presence, you connect with the divine. You're just connected. You're connected and you're aligned. Yeah, you're connected and you're aligned. You give that to everyone you come in contact with, and they have that experience. And I was like, okay, how does that work? But it seems to be working because I see people, and I think just by not needing anything, holding that space, I don't even really know what it is yet. This is very new for me, but and people are saying that to me. I didn't even say that word to them, and they're saying, I feel more aligned and I'm good. I'm okay. I feel good. I feel at peace. And so it's interesting what's happening. And I don't really know how to describe it yet, but this is my new experience. And if you would like to work with me, it may only take one session, which is really cool, right? Like one session and you're aligned and things flow to you. Imagine that. I mean, that's what my experience has been lately. I can't say that it's always going to be that. I mean, I hope that for people. But if you would like to work with me, I will put my website down below. And it would just, I probably shouldn't talk money on here. I don't know. I've never heard anybody do that. It sounds kind of weird. So I won't do that. You can just go to my website if you want to. But, and if you like my video, please subscribe to my channel. Thanks.